Welcome to Canadian Football League Weekly, presented by the World of Football. Each week, we recap the games played up north in the CFL, and we also look ahead to next week's games. Our mission here is to educate American football fans on the teams and players in the CFL in the hopes that you will come to love this league as much as we do. I'm Randy Snow, and I'm joined as always by my son, Adam.
Yeah, what a man. It sucks for our Argonauts. We're going to talk about that in a second. But man, how you doing? How much Canadian football did you get to watch this weekend?
I did not watch anything live, I'm afraid. I was telling you this before. I tried to watch a game on my laptop, and it told me it wasn't available in my area. Yet I could go to my phone and get it on my phone through that. So I don't know. It was a little weird.
Hey, you got to watch that location setting, I think. But it's all good. Like, yeah, with only 3 games this weekend, I was like, all right, cool. I'll be able to catch everything live. Caught everything a little after the fact, but caught up nonetheless. Interesting weekend as the playoffs right around the corner. Teams getting eliminated, teams securing spots. We are almost to one of the most fun times in the CFL. It's always fun, but we're about to get into playoff CFL football, which is always a great time. So looking forward to getting there.
Yeah. Well, you worked all weekend. You worked Saturday and Sunday this weekend, so you were pretty busy, weren't you?
Yeah, it's pretty busy. Got to make that money. Going on a little honeymoon thing at the end of the month. So just trying to, pad the bank account a little bit before we go on a little tiny trip. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Might be busy again this upcoming weekend. My rule is as long as I can work without it interfering with a Lions game, I won't complain too much. And so far, no complaints.
Absolutely, yes. But we're not talking Lions today. Well, we're talking BC Lions. But first, we're going to talk about some other games. We're going to talk about Week 18 in the Canadian Football League, and it started off last Friday night with the Saskatchewan Roughriders defeating the Ottawa Redblacks 20-13. In the second quarter, Saskatchewan defensive back Antoine Brooks intercepted a pass and took it back 85 yards for a touchdown to make the score 14-0 in favor of the Roughriders. Saskatchewan went on to lead 14-3 at halftime. In the fourth quarter, Dante Myers had a 66-yard catch and run, making the score 21-3. And Ottawa then scored 10 unanswered points, but it was not enough as Saskatchewan won 21-13 on the road, snapping a 2-game losing streak, did Saskatchewan. And both of these teams wore their Indigenous logos on their helmets this week, mainly because everybody else wore them last week. All 8 teams that were playing wore those, but Ottawa was on a bye, so they wore their Indigenous logos this week, and so did Saskatchewan. So that was kind of nice. I love those Indigenous helmets. From a distance, you don't really notice the difference, but when they do, zoom in on the players or whatever, they are so cool. I really, really like them.
Yeah, I like that they did that because, I'm always like, maybe you guys got an uneven amount of teams. That means when you do the Indigenous weekend, somebody's getting left out, and I feel bad. But then they make up for it here, which finally the CFL doing something positive that we can all agree on is a good thing. But yes. I was glad to see the Saskatchewan defense in this one. They came to play. They were ready. But, man, they should have had this game handled and done, put away. But those pesky Red Blacks found a way to make it interesting there at the end, but it just wasn't quite enough. And with the loss, they end up getting eliminated for playoff contention. So you hate to see it with a few weeks left, but it's that time of the year. Teams are getting eliminated.
Yep, let's talk about some stats. You want to read the stats or you want me to?
Right. Yeah, I'll go through the stats here. Let's talk about quarterback Trevor Harris of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. We're going to start with the winning team. He was 27 of 33 for 341 yards and a touchdown. Running back A.J. Ouellette ran the ball 18 times for 53 yards and a touchdown. And wide receiver Dante Myers had 6 catches for 158 yards and a TD. Heck of a game for Myers there. For Ottawa, the losers in this one, some rough stats here we're about to hit. As Drew Brown was 11 of 20 for 141 yards. He didn't throw any touchdowns, but he did throw 3 interceptions. He was replaced by quarterback Dustin Crum, who was 12 of 16 on passing for 99 yards, and he did get in the end zone with a touchdown pass. Running back Stanbeck had run the ball 11 times for 39 yards, and wide receiver Justin Hardy had 5 catches for 57 yards, including a touchdown on that. Wide receiver Khalil Pimpleton had a combined 166 yards and kickoff returns and punt return yardage during this game. Pimpleton, obviously, the CFL alum that Dad loves bringing up every week.
From Central Michigan University, right up the road from us here. We always, if I can find a way to mention Khalil Pimpleton in any of these shows, I'll do it.
He finds a way, just like life in Jurassic Park. Randy finds a way.
All right, let's move on to the next game, which was on Saturday, and it saw the Hamilton Tiger Cats defeat our beloved Toronto Argonauts 47-29. In the first quarter of this game, Hamilton wide receiver Brendan O'Leary Orange had an 87-yard catch and run for a touchdown, making the score 17-0 in favor of the Ticats. Hamilton also led 32-9 at halftime. All Toronto could manage was 3 field goals in the first half. Hamilton continued to lead 32-22 at the end of the third quarter and cruised to an easy 47-29 win on the road. Of course, these two towns are like a half-hour drive away, but they were on the road. But what I liked about this game was that both teams wore their home uniforms. You had the black and gold for Hamilton. You had the double blue for Toronto. That was such a good look in that game. I mean, they're big rivals. This is a rivalry game. Every time they play a couple times a year, and I love it when both teams wear their home colors.
Yeah, they should do this more often. This is that kind of rivalry where I think you could get away with it, kind of like UCLA, USC. The color schemes are so vastly different. Just embrace it. Do it every year. I love the light blue against the black. It just works. Like you said, the double blue. So it's just a great look. It makes for a great product on the field in terms of aesthetics. The score, however, not so nice, as that also leads to the Toronto Argonauts, the defending Grey Cup champions, being eliminated from defending their crown, which means we will get a brand new Grey Cup champion this year.
Yeah.
You hate to see it, but, you know, that's the Canadian Football League for you. 1 year you're on top, the next year you're towards the bottom. It's a fickle thing, the CFL, but that's why we love it.
We do.
You know,
we love it just the way it is.
Yeah, and what didn't help was Nick Arbuckle getting hurt. Getting hurt during this game. But I mean, the Argos were in a hole early. It was like like you said, 17-0 at one point. They just kept piling it on. Anytime Toronto felt like they got anything going, the Ticats would answer with something else. It was just even more insane than the last. It was just a rough watch. It's been a rough year for us Argos fans. I mean, I've been loving the CFL season overall. It's been absolutely crazy. I saw somebody, I want to say it was Ryder Girl from the Saskatchewan Rough Riders that we met at the Grey Cup.
Ryder fan.
She posted some crazy stat about how a lot of these games have been like comeback wins or something. And I gotta find that stat. It is crazy what the CFL has been this year. And to see your defending champion just at the bottom. I mean, what do you expect in this crazy league?
Toronto has played some good games, and they've come right down to the end. And for whatever reason, like one game, they were going for the winning touchdown or tying field goal or something, and they threw an interception with 15 seconds to go. Stuff like that has been plaguing them all season long. And they have played some good football at times, but overall, their record is just terrible this year.
And they've been known as more of a pass-heavy team. I would love to see them switch that up. I feel like if they had a bit more of a run game, that might actually have tipped some games in their favor. You chew a little bit more clock. Maybe you dominate the line of scrimmage a lot more. They're just always kind of spread, and I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm a CFL genius when it comes to how to scheme up a game plan, but I just feel like the absence of a run game in most versions of football is going to help you out. If you're not the arena football one, the run game is usually the tool you want in your back pocket. And the Argos really, when we talk about stats, we rarely ever talk about a Toronto running back. It's usually receivers and the quarterback position. But speaking of stats, if you got nothing else, I can go through those if you'd like.
No, yeah, go ahead.
All right. For Hamilton, quarterback Bo Levi Mitchell had a day, 18 to 25 for 320 yards. He threw for 4 touchdowns and he had 1 interception. Greg Bell, the running back there, ran the ball 12 times for 76 yards. He got a touchdown as well. Wide receiver Brendan O'Leary Orange had 2 catches for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. So nice day for him there. While Kenny Lawler had 3 catches for 63 yards and 2 touchdowns. So a couple of receivers getting a couple of touchdowns. Hamilton had themselves a day in Toronto.
Yeah, that stat right there, 2 catches for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. He caught the ball twice. He scored on both of them and a total of 111 yards. Wow. What
and the dude's got speed too. Like, heck, he caught that one streaker up the sideline and he was gone. Nobody could catch him. So that was a heck of a play. Got to give it to them. For Toronto, quarterback Nick Arbuckle, who, as I mentioned, was injured in the first quarter, he was 0 for 1 on his passing with no yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He was replaced by Jarrett Daggy, who was 34 of 39 or 34 of 49. So there you go with what I'm talking about. The Argos just want to air it out. Yeah, they were down and they kind of had to do that. But to almost throw for 50 passes in any level of football is absolutely insane. That just shows you, how reliant they are on their pass game and why I reiterate that Toronto's got to find a run game. Anyway, he threw for 323 yards. He had 2 touchdowns along with 4 interceptions in this one. Running back. Oh, here we go. Running back stat. Spencer Brown ran the ball 8 times for 47 yards. Okay. And wide receiver Dejon Brissett had 8 catches for 97 yards, while kicker Hiram Hiralahu was 5 for 5 on his field goals, the longest of which from 53 yards. And that's all she wrote for Toronto. Now they're eliminated. We'll look at the standings later, but with 2 teams from the East going down, Randy, that means we get to talk about the good old crossover.
Yeah, we'll talk crossover here in a little bit. But in the meantime, we just want to let everybody know that we also have a weekly podcast called This Week in the World of Football. This week's episode is going to be number 414. And some of the things that we're going to be talking about this week, 3 UFL teams are not returning in 2026. One of them is near and dear to our heart, the Michigan Panthers. We've been to see them just about every year. And I saw the original team back in the 80s. Love that team. There are no more undefeated teams in the NFL. They both fell yesterday. And so there's actually only one winless team now. That's the Jets. So everybody's got a win except the Jets, and everybody's got a loss. So crazy season already this year. And in college football, the U.S. Naval Academy improves their record to 5-0 on the college football season with a big win over the Air Force Academy, which is near and dear to my heart. But good for Navy, I guess. So that's just some of the stuff we're going to be talking about tomorrow.
Yeah, some of the stuff. I'm surprised that the Mark Sanchez story didn't end up on your rundown there.
Yeah, that's a very complicated story, and I wasn't sure.
Wild story. If you guys ever, how have you not? What rock are you living under? And no matter what country you're in, the Mark Sanchez story is insane. So we might touch on it. We'll see tomorrow. And for those of you who check out our show, we usually do that live on Tuesdays at 4:00 Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow night, though, however, Randy's got some conflict, so we might be pushing the show back to 6:00, depending on Randy's schedule. Otherwise, you guys are stuck with me running a solo show at 4:00. Be on the lookout. Turn the notifications on. You'll see when the show goes live across our social medias and YouTube channel. If and when that happens, I'll try to get it set up for 6:00. But if Randy can't make it, you're gonna bet your bottom dollar, you and me, guys, we're gonna have fun. We'll do what Randy won't let us do, and we'll break down the Mark Sanchez arrests. We'll just break it all down.
Hey, you all better hope I make it in time tomorrow to do this show, because you don't want an hour of this guy all by himself, unfiltered, and nobody to tell him when to stop talking.
Hey, I'm not stuck in the live stream with you guys. You guys are stuck in the live stream with me. Okay, that's how that's gonna work.
All right. Well, let's talk about the third and final game of the weekend on Saturday. Also, it was the BC Lions over the Calgary Stampeders, 38-24. BC led in this game 7-3 at the end of the first quarter, and they also led 21-6 at halftime. Lions continued to lead 31-9 at the end of the third quarter. Calgary did mount a comeback in the fourth quarter, outscoring BC 15-7, but it was just not enough. Calgary outscored them 15-7, but it wasn't enough as BC went on to win 38-24. Some of the notes I have for this game: BC secured a playoff spot with that win. So the top two teams in the West have secured their spots, and we'll see who gets a guaranteed spot next week. This particular game was something called the third annual Gravy Bowl, and I remember talking about this before. It's an early Thanksgiving pregame celebration that they do in BC. It's put on by the Lions, and it consists of a pregame meal that the team puts on for the fans outside the stadium, where they have turkey, dressing, gravy, all the traditional Thanksgiving foods before the game, before they even go into the stadium. Now, actual Thanksgiving Day in Canada is going to be on Monday, October 13th, and they actually have a CFL game that day on Thanksgiving Day in Canada. But BC is going to be on a bye next week, so this is their early Thanksgiving gift to their fans for supporting them this year. And I think it's kind of cool. They've been doing this for 3 years now, and it's pretty cool that they do that for all their fans. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it called the Gravy Bowl. I was like, why it doesn't sound, I mean, it kind of sounded familiar, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm loving the traditions. Is there a trophy?
I don't think so.
They need a Gravy Bowl trophy.
I think they might do kind of like what the Lions do on Thanksgiving. The winning team gets like turkey legs on the sidelines after the game or something like that. I'm not positive, but I think that's part of it. But yeah, most of it is a lot of people from the team. They'll sit out there and they'll carve up turkey and serve it to people waiting to get into the game that day. So that is pretty cool. And then one other thing that happened during this game was that the BC Lions inducted one of their former players, linebacker Solomon Elimimian. That's a tough one to say, but he was inducted into the BC Lions Wall of Honor at halftime. He played college football at Hawaii and played 9 seasons for the BC Lions from 2010 to 2018. He won a Grey Cup with the Lions in his second season, 2011, and he was inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame just a few years ago in 2023. The team also retired his jersey number 56, so quite an honor for him. And congratulations to the team. Another great player in their Wall of Honor.
Yeah, here's a picture of him right there, wearing one of my favorite, almost my favorite BC Lions helmets. He had I like the black one. That's got the white logo on it, but I like the black version of that helmet. But there he is. I figured as soon as you were talking, I was like, oh crap, I probably should get a picture of him.
Yeah, that's the helmet you like because it looks a lot like the Michigan Panthers helmet.
Yeah, it's all top tier CFL helmet right there.
Yeah. You've been looking for a mini helmet of that, and you can't.
I had one in my grasp, not literally, but a guy on a CFL group was selling it for a good price. It's just shipping it to the U.S. has been a pain in the butt, so I can't get that. I can't get my Rough Riders indigenous hat that I want. Come on, tariffs. This is bull crap.
Like I'm saying, if you live in Windsor, Ontario, and you like our show, let us know because we'll come to your house. We'll have some stuff sent to you, and we'll come there and pick it up.
I mean, that'd be nice, but I don't want to mess with the border.
Well, you got your passport now. We had to get those for the Grey Cup last year.
Yeah.
Getting across the border is no problem. All right, let's talk stats from this game.
All right, let's talk some stats, guys. British Columbia quarterback Nathan Rourke had a nice day, 25 of 32 for 414 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He also ran for 22 yards. Running back Xander Horvath had two carries for 42 yards and a touchdown. So he had a nice day, only had 2 carries. Wide receiver Keon Hatcher had 7 catches for 112 yards with 2 touchdowns. And wide receiver Javon Katoy had 7 catches for 99 yards and a touchdown. For the Stampeders, quarterback Vernon Adams comes back to BC. after being there for years with the Lions. He was 21 of 38 for 303 yards. He threw 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He also ran for 32 yards. Running back Dedrick Mills ran the ball 7 times for 85 yards. And wide receiver Eric Brooks had 5 catches for 92 yards.
Yeah. And then on bye this week, 3 teams. The Edmonton Elks were on a bye, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, as well as the Montreal Alouettes. And get this, the Alouettes secured a playoff spot with that Toronto loss. So you've got 2 teams that have secured spots in the East and 2 teams that have secured spots in the West. One more, they have 3 on each side. So I think we're definitely going to have a crossover team. So 2 teams from the West are going to qualify, and one of those is going to cross over to the East.
Yeah,
that's the craziness of the CFL, but it's awesome. It really is.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've been kind of banging the drum for a crossover. Going to get our wish. It's pretty much a lock. Well, it is a lock. It's a lock. We're getting a crossover, but who will it be? Who will that team be? Can the Elks make it interesting the last few weeks? Will it be the Blue Bombers? Will it be the Stampeders moving over? Or could it be the lot? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because Saskatchewan's got the top spot right now. They have not won the West. They could, if they fall apart the next couple of weeks, who knows? Somebody else could win that. Maybe they'll be the crossover team. You just never know.
Mathematically, because we got week 19, 20, and I think it's 21. So we got 3-ish weeks left. So, I guess, they could technically if some of those other 8-win teams win 3 and Saskatchewan loses out. But I highly doubt that, especially considering some of the matchups we got coming up this week.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's look at the standings after week 18 with only 3 weeks ago. In the West, it's the Saskatchewan Roughriders at 11-4, followed by the BC Lions at 9-7. Those 2 teams have secured playoff spots. They are followed by the Calgary Stampeders at 8-7, Winnipeg Blue Bombers at 8-7, and the Edmonton Elks at 6-9. And then over in the East, it's the Hamilton Tiger Cats with a 10-6 record, and the Montreal Alouettes with an 8-7 record, and they both have secured playoff spots. And the last 2 teams, unfortunately, are going nowhere. The Toronto Argonauts at 5-11, and the Ottawa Red Blacks at 4-11. So looking ahead to week 19, there are 4 games next week. On Friday, it's Toronto at Saskatchewan. Saturday, it's going to be Calgary at Hamilton. Also on Saturday, it's Winnipeg at Edmonton on Saturday. And then Monday, Thanksgiving Day in Canada, Ottawa at Montreal. Now, that game is going to be on CBS Sportsnet, according to their schedule. The other 3 games are all on CFL Plus. And this might be, according to the schedule I saw, there are no more regular season games that are going to be on CBS Sportsnet for the CFL. And even looking at the playoff games, it does not say CBS Sportsnet. But I'm thinking that once the playoffs get around, they'll be showing them on CFL Sportsnet. Right?
God, I hope so.
CBS Sportsnet, especially the Grey Cup. Somebody's got to pick up the Grey Cup, whether it's CBS Sportsnet or ESPN or somebody has got to have that game here in the States.
Yeah, you'd think they would. I hope they do. So, otherwise, like we've had no problem with CFL Plus usually. So,
right, yeah.
It's very rare to have a CFL Plus issue. So I'm hoping that all works out one way or the other for us so we can still check out the game.
Yeah. And then next week, the BC Lions are going to be on bye next week. So, yeah, the only other thing we were going to talk about, which we already did, that there's definitely going to be a crossover team this year. And you've been wringing your hands anticipating a crossover team this year. I think it's been a couple of years since they had a crossover team. But pretty common for a while.
I forget what the actual stat is. The last time a CFL crossover happened, because I've been seeing different stats popping up, but I can't tell you right now at the top of my head when the last time it was. I'm sure someone in the chat might know. Actually, if I find this post, maybe it was 2019 when the Edmonton Elks played the Montreal Alouettes in the 2019 East semis.
Okay. So, well, that's 6 years.
Yep, and that's the last time. Oh, they won that one because then they played the Tiger Cats in the East Final and lost to the Tiger Cats in 2019. So,
okay.
yep.
Well, that's it for me. Anything else you want to add?
And not really. Another good weekend of CFL football. We got 4 games stretched out from Friday to Monday. Shoot. You're going to have to remind. So that means next Monday, usually we do our show live.
Yeah.
What time is that? That Monday game is going to be at 1:00. Ooh, so I mean, technically, we could still probably put a show together for 4 in the afternoon as long as that game. I mean, or we could do it right after that game wraps up, Randy. Ooh, we could be like fresh.
Well, we may not have all the stats and stuff from that game because it might be a little too early for them to post that. But yeah, we'll wing it.
Yeah, that's what we do around here. We like to wing stuff.
All right, that's all the time we've got for this week. Tune in again next week when Adam and I will review all the games played up north of the border. We'll be here throughout the CFL regular season, which has only got 3 weeks left in it. We're going to be here throughout the postseason, as well as the 112th Grey Cup game, which is going to be played in Winnipeg this year on November 16th. Check out highlights of all the games that we talk about each week at cfl.ca/videos. And if you have any questions about the CFL, you can ask them down in the comments section of this video. If we don't know the answers, we've got friends in Canada who do, so we'll get you an answer. So remember, folks, some people may love football more than we do, but nobody, and I mean nobody, loves more football than Adam and I, sitting here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, talking about the Canadian Football League. Until next time, I'm Randy Snow.
And I'm Adam Snow.
And we'll see you again next week, somewhere around the 55-yard line.